Well, there's breaking news coming into our studio. In Iltv, there's a little key that was once named Little San Salvador, but renamed by American Cruise Line as some strange name. Well, they've had a cruise line that has caught a fire. And the breaking news is there are 2 crew members who have perished. So the most I can tell you is, according to a source, they were burned to death on an American cruise line at Half Moon Cay. And this ship is reported to have the capacity to transfer 2,000 passenger and crew. So that's breaking news coming out of Half Moon Cay in Iltv. And then overnight in Iltv, a 15-year-old youth, it is alleged that he and a brother who was 10 years his senior had a dispute while they were heading to a particular settlement. And when the ride came to an end, his older brother lost his life. And so the allegation against the 15-year-old youth is he took a knife and he regrettably ended his brother's life. So they are 2 sad stories, all of which are coming from Iltv. Today, approximately 15 new justices of the peace were sworn in by the new acting chief magistrate, Roberto Reckley. So I'll talk about it. I'll talk about the oath of allegiance which each of the justices of the peace were required to swear, pledging faithfulness and obedience in accordance with the law with our blessed sovereign, King Charles III. So it was a solemn occasion. It was a wonderful occasion. There's only one problem I had with it. I'll tell you about it when we return. This is Freedom March. God save the new justices of the peace within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. They faithfully swore and shall bear allegiance to our blessed King, King Charles III. God save the King. I'll be right back. Today is Friday, the 22nd of March, 2024. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker, and of course, I think I did tell you that today happens to be Friday, the 22nd of March, 2024, and of course, 94 years ago on this date, Lyndon Oscar Pinley, who would become the nation's first prime minister in an independent Bahamas, was born today. So I think it is powerful that had Pinley lived, he would have been 94 years old today, having been born on the 22nd of March, 1930. This is powerful. My great-grandfather, Paul Clark of Great Exuma, he also died today in 1948. Pinley turned 18 the year that my maternal great-grandfather, Paul Clark, died at Exuma. I thought I'll tell that to you for historical reasons, and this is powerful. Well, let me read an ad, and then after that, we can talk, we can talk a little talk, because it's a weekend, and I've been told that the weatherman has predicted that the weather shall deteriorate. So let's get ready for that and see whether or not it will happen. So we look at an ad from Western Air, and this is powerful. Western Air now flies to Naughty Lutra and Nassau on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings, as well as Sunday evenings. Visit www.westernairbahamas.com to book today. Western Air is very powerful indeed. Yeah, so I'm happy to have Western Air sponsoring Freedom March, and I called on everyone who's able to hear me, and particularly those people who have accepted my leadership, that the plane that you are required to travel on is Western Air, and this is powerful. Well, having told you that, I'm in possession of some very interesting judgment. I have in my possession a judgment written by 3 senior judges of the Court of Appeal of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And this judgment is to do with an appeal by Free National Movement Member of Parliament Adrian Gibson, who, for his cousin, Roche Gibson, has decided that she will now cooperate with the state. And in this case, that institution happens to be the Office of Public Prosecution. And of course, Adrian has had problem. He didn't want the evidence of for his cousin, so his attorneys, and listen to me, he got some of the biggest and the best lawyers in this country. They all went immediately to the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal, with the backing of the law, send them back for trial. So I have the judgment, but I have to move by the Spirit. If the Spirit moves me, there are some very interesting, powerful observation by their lordships. And I think that if I, as a layman, you say I'm a layman, if I were to use my layman expertise and educate the public, it will stamp out corruption. So at some point, I'm going to have to stamp out corruption by looking at their lordship judgment, because this judgment is designed to stamp out all forms of alleged corruption, and this is powerful. So I thank God that I'm alive. I thank God that I am a witness to these powerful historical revelation, which is homegrown. There's nothing like homegrown justice. It's nothing like the justice that you know. So it's powerful. Well, in addition to that, let's look, for instance, at the cruise. You do know that off North Iltv we have an island that historically was named Little San Salvador. I hope I have it correct, because I've left high school, or should I say they threw me out of high school 50 years ago. So my geography is kind of off. But it was called Little San Salvador. So they sell Little San Salvador to some Americans, who then moved and changed the name to Half Moon Cay. Well, today, a cruise ship called Holland American Cruise, they were at Half Moon Cay, and somehow the ship catch a fire. Do you believe this? That big ship, an American ship that has been inspected. You see why I don't trust nothing wrong here? It is alleged that they've been inspected, they pass every test and so forth. But the people who inspect it were not Bahamians. See, this is what happens when we do not run this country and we do not use our professionals to inspect these cruise lines here in the Bahamas. So it is suspected, it is believed, it is alleged that no Bahamian inspected these cruise lines, these cruise ships. And so somehow fire break out. And all that training they're supposed to have when there's a fire, all that drilling, it is alleged that they are required either by American laws, Bahamian laws, or international shipping laws. It didn't work today. Well, by grab, it didn't work. Now, the problem we are faced with is who is in charge? Well, guess who it is? It's our man, Commander Bernie Wright. And I want to be kind to Bernie because his father is the daddy of many of my cousins. You see how small the country is? His father fathered some of the people that I love with all my heart. And so, how then do I attack my cousin's brother? You see how compromised I find myself in? So, big fire at Half Moon Cay. You mean to tell me that this business that we are involved in, nobody is properly checking out these American cruise line? Because in America, while there is good laws and punishment, there's also corruption in America. And so something went wrong. And we will never know, because Commander Bernie Wright has not left the island of New Providence and head for Iltv. Now you may want to know how I know that. I've given instruction to a couple of Negro citizens who are able to see him from where he works. And their instruction is, if he goes on a boat, call me. If he is heading to the airport and arrives there, let me know. And if he's spotted at Half Moon Key or near it, I need to know. Because I need to know that Commander Bernie Wright is going to solve this problem. I don't know what we're going to do in this country. 2 human beings perish on the boat. It's tragic. And this ship is reported to be able to take 2,000 passengers, including crew members. Okay? So this is what is going on in my country, and I'm upset about it. You know, I'm upset. I don't know. I may have to have a talk with the PLP government and say to them, listen, don't mind I owe. It might be time, you know, for me to visit some of these boats so I could question these people to see if they're complying with our laws. So I demand justice. I demand that the government of the Bahamas holds an inquiry publicly. That is what I demand, because I'm suspicious, very suspicious, and very upset. I do not like the fact. See, I'm in media. And the international press has been harassing this organization. All right? They want to know. I sent a word out to the international media that I'm willing to talk. I told them, I don't know what's going on, but if they need comments, I'm willing to talk. But I don't know what's going on. I just heard the news. Isn't that powerful that I'm willing to talk to the media, even though I don't know what's going on? Well, I got a line I could give them. I could say to them, listen, I was always suspicious of these cruise lines because they pump human waste in our water. They don't comply with the law. And if they're pumping human waste in our water, trying to destroy the environment, why should I believe that they're being properly inspected? So this would be a great opportunity for me to just publicly curse them out. All right? But I'm sad over it. I hate when people die under these circumstances. Oh boy, it is so sad, it's so tragic. Can you imagine when the family hear about this? What a country, what a world we live in. If only men can be more particular, more careful, follow the rules, look out for one another, you know. But 2 people are dead. And the most I can say is, I'm so sorry. And the other thing I can say is, may they rest in peace. It's just sad. But that's what's going on. Half Moon Key, Holland, America. This boat is said to have the ability to house or transport 2,000 people. I don't know if they had passengers. I don't know what the facts are, because, you know, we live in a society where in our attempt to protect tourism, we remain silent. And that is not the way you protect tourism. You protect tourism by just giving the facts. You mightn't like the fact, but you just give the facts. And then the good thing about it is we can blame everything on the Americans. You see, this is the good thing about giving the fact. You blame it on the Americans. You say, listen, Holland, America is controlled by Americans. It's the Americans. They must have did something wrong and caused the damn fire. Because I'm certain they ain't got no Bahamian on them ship. All right? The closest they may come to the ship is them who work on Half Moon Key. So you just blame it on the Americans. And then you call for international investigation. See, it's easy. All right? You talk to the media. Media, I am suspicious that this fire is caused by an American. I'm not sure which one, but I believe it's an American. In fact, let's blame it on America, because normally we blame everything on America. Why can't we blame this one on America? And the Americans will understand, but we're going to blame this one on the Americans and tell the Americans, show us it wasn't them. Because I'm certain nobody complied with the rule that says that a cruise line cannot come into the Bahamas unless there's a Bahamian captain aboard it. They thought I didn't know that. All right? Anyway, I'm going to leave it alone because it's only going to get me upset. So I'm going to leave it alone and perhaps go to another issue, because today was a very exciting day. We had like 15 Bahamians who have been sworn in as justices of the peace. I got to talk about it. The acting magistrate, Roberto Reckley, he did a magnificent job at Court 9 in the magistrate court at Nassau Street. The court was full to the capacity. I'm not saying that court as packed as it was this morning since the trial of former Progressive Liberal Party Senator Frank Smith. It was the same court he was tried in, and listen to me, it was packed. The justices of the peace who were sworn in, they brought their family, their friends, their supporters, their colleagues. They brought their grandchildren. They brought their children. Oh, it was a wonderful, wonderful, solemn occasion. And this is going to put a dent in crime, because with the naming of all these justices of the peace, the appointment, and the wonderful speech by His Worship, Magistrate, Chief Magistrate Acting, Roberto Reckley, telling JPs their powers under the law. I can't wait to test some of those powers. Perhaps I'll go to the nearest police station whenever I see a crime again and tell them what the law requires that I should tell them. And if they challenge me, I'll say, now listen, you can't challenge me, because I was in the magistrate court on Friday, the 22nd of March, 2024. When I come back, we're going to talk about the justices of the peace. Listen to me. It was a wonderful occasion. It was a powerful blow for women. 1 year after they called for the legalization of prostitution, the PLP moved above that foolishness and named scores of women justices of the peace. God save the women them. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I began the show by telling you that there has been a fire aboard Holland American Cruise Line, which is docked at Half Moon Cay, formerly Little San Salvador. And I've reported that there are at least 2 crew members who have perished in that fire. And then, of course, on the island of Iltv overnight, a 15-year-old lad has been taken into custody. He's accused of the murder of his 25-year-old brother. So that is another tragedy that our nation and the families and the island of Iltv is faced with. It's so tragic when a 15-year-old loses control and he kills his 25-year-old brother. Can you imagine? You're 10 and mom has a baby that you can lift up, play with, perhaps change his diapers, maybe bathe him up, kiss him, love him. Everybody's growing well. Something goes wrong. We all lose control. And the next thing you know, little baby brother kills the older brother. So it's very tragic for the mother, very tragic for the father, the community, the family. It's very, very tragic. So we're going to have to change some laws. There's some laws that need to be changed. But what we will do, because I want to come back to that wonderful occasion today at the Magistrate Court and the many justices of the peace who have been sworn in. So we're going to come back to that. But I thank God that my spiritual advisor is ready to lead us in Holy Scriptures. Bradley Roll, welcome to Freedom March.
Thanks so much. Good to be here.
And if it pleases you, behold the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Thank you. Psalm chapter 1. Very, very familiar psalm that everybody can, of course, recite out of their heads, recall from memory, and repeat it. Psalm chapter 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law that he meditate day and night. And he should be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. Psalms chapter 1, I read the entire psalm, 6 verses. The Old Testament reading, King James. The word of God is truly blessed. Amen.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor. It's very powerful. So let me repeat it again. There has been a fire at Half Moon Cay near Iltv involving Holland American Cruise Line. We advised that they are docked at that island. There's been a fire, and two of their crew members were killed. So that is what we understand. It is a boat that is believed to have the capacity to transport 2,000 people, and the most we can say is the reports coming out of Iltv is that only 2 people were killed. We don't know if any other people were injured, but it appears not to have happened. And then overnight, on Iltv, police has taken into custody a 15-year-old lad, and he is accused for the stabbing death of an older sibling, a brother who is 25 years old. So that is what is taking place in the country as it relates to those two particular incidents. And today I'm in possession of a judgment in the Adrian Gibson fraud money laundering case. Gibson has had a powerful challenge where his cousin, Rashay Gibson, she has reached an agreement with the Office of Public Prosecution, and in return for her speaking truthfully and testifying against her beloved cousin Adrian Gibson, all charges have been dropped against Rashay. So this is powerful, and Adrian didn't want it to have her testimony, so he immediately went to a higher court, the Court of Appeal, where 3 judges heard the case and, rejected the application. You will recall that I told you that I accidentally ran into Adrian and a huge contingent of Negro attorneys, and everybody was well dressed, and from the kind of books that I saw them had, I knew that these were smart lawyers, because they had some very big legal books, and the most I could have done was to try to see if I could read the name of some of these books. They had a book called Halsbury. When I saw Halsbury, I said, boy, this got to be a big, good book, because if you would recall, the former DNA leader, Brian McCartney, his law firm, I think, is called Halsbury Law Firm. So Halsbury got to be a big thing. Then they had a book called Shitty. When I saw Shitty, I said, yeah, this has got to be a powerful case, because Shitty has always been a brilliant English lawyer. And then they seem to have had the first, second, and third bench book. These were not big books. And I love to see a lawyer in his wig, his gown, a big bag, and some of Adrian Gibson lawyer had suitcase. That's when I knew they were brilliant. You know, the tote suitcases to court? And these are not suitcases of clothes, it's just books. And that's how I hire a lawyer now. The more books I meet in your office, you got me. So you got to be a smart fella with all these big books. So I have the judgment. And then today, the governing Progressive Liberal Party has liberated more women who wants to play a meaningful socio-legal role in the country. And I want to show you something about good man leadership. Last year, March, a group of women who were not saved, they met at Bahama. They called for the legalization of prostitution. They called for taxpayers' money to fund sex workers. Can you imagine that? They came up with all kind of foolishness. They even wanted the right to perform abortion. They thought for a second that they were living in the United States, where that kind of debauchery is common. Well, 1 year later, the government has not paid them any attention and looked at the population and elevated today 13 women and 2 men, and they have been sworn in as justices of the peace. I was accompanied there because I had been given an invitation, and so I went, and of course I was accompanied by a good colleague, Marcus Louis. And then Marcus got a surprise of his life when he heard that the justices of the peace were required to do an oath of allegiance. And as the chief clerk called upon justices of the peace to swear an oath of allegiance to our blessed sovereign, King Charles III, I looked at Marcus as Marcus marveled at the legal mystery behind that oath of allegiance. So perhaps I'll read it so that people will understand that when I come here on national TV and I say, God save the King and the entire royal family, this is lawful. Charles is our king, okay? In accordance with the law. And every justice of the peace was required to bear true allegiance to the king in accordance with the law. And then, of course, there was a judicial oath. Many people do not understand why I speak for the poor when they are oppressed. Many people do not understand why I speak truthfully when Haitians and West Indian people are oppressed in the country. But they make me take an oath that I would do it. See, when I speak for these people, I speak in accordance with the law because they make me do it before the former Chief Magistrate, the late Roger Gomez. So I took an oath that I will follow the law and that I will ensure that I am fair to every person without regard to their race, their religion, and their nationality. And so I'm going to show the oath to my spiritual advisor. Will you help me, my spiritual advisor? You perhaps can read for me first the oath of allegiance.
Oh, Sandra, why you put me through this today?
Well, you are more educated than I am.
Not to read, Sandra.
Of course, to read. Come on.
Reading is fundamental, so you should know how to do that.
Well, the late.
So what is this all about, Sandra?
It is an oath of allegiance. Okay?
Now.
Yes?
I don't know about the swearing part.
Just read it, my spiritual advisor.
Because I'm not supposed to be swearing.
You're not a JP. I'm not swearing you in. You're merely quoting what you see there.
Okay, so it says,
I...
And then there's a blank.
I will repeat my name. Go ahead.
I...
Rodney Monker.
Do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors according to law. So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay.
You see?
And then there's a judicial oath.
And there is the judicial oath, my spiritual advisor. So we first are called upon to do what? Swear an allegiance to the king. Then after that, you take a judicial oath that anyone who comes before you and lodge a complaint, you will be fair to that person. You will not look at the color of the person, the nationality of the person. You will look only at the evidence which appears before you. So when the Haitian citizen comes before me and tell me how his two little sons were thrown out of school unlawfully, I can't look at the fact that the father is Haitian. I look at the law. I look to see if what was done was just. That's it. And so there is an oath of allegiance, an oath, a judicial oath, that every justices of the peace were required today. 15! 13 women and 2 men that took place in the court, and the acting chief magistrate, Roberto, correctly told the justices of the peace their powers. So if those justices of the peace play their role, we can put a blow against crime. And after the magistrate reminded justices of the peace of their powers to order arrest, to issue warrant of arrest, warrant of search, I call on citizens to please obey the law. Other than that, the justices of the peace can call upon the police to arrest you and bring you before the nearest justice of the peace. So it was wonderful. Everybody was proud. Everybody was wearing a solemn attire. Everybody was wearing black. And it was so great. I was so proud of them, very proud of what I saw today. And I need justices of the peace to play a more meaningful role in maintaining law and order. And I yearn for a day when the Attorney General will meet with justices of the peace and get some recommendation. I'll give you an example. There are certain complaints that exist domestically. There's no need to send it to the magistrate court. If a female alleges that she's being harassed by her boyfriend, the law ought to make provision where she can go to the nearest justice of the peace, swear an affidavit, and get a restraining order. And the boyfriend has 6 months to appeal to a magistrate. So you come to me and say, listen, my boyfriend is giving me problem. I listen to what you say, or justice of the peace listen to what you say. Satisfied with that, we issue an order telling boyfriend he's to stay far. He's not to return to the house. He's not to enjoy any conjugal rights. He will have no mating with this woman. And he has 6 months to appeal to a magistrate. And that's the way you can help to decentralize judicial authority at the community level. And then, of course, do you have just Magistrate Roberto? He is wearing his uniform, his ceremonial uniform. Find a photograph with him and perhaps the group or some of us. He also pointed out to justices of the peace that we are not marriage officers. There are, in some jurisdiction, there are people who believe that by virtue of being a justice of the peace, they can perform weddings. No. He pointed out clearly that we cannot do so. We are not marriage officers. Perhaps justices of the peace collectively should petition the government to amend the law so that a justice of the peace can perform wedding, so that a justice of the peace can be a marriage officer. I just had a Rasta and his girlfriend came to see me. They wanted me to marry them. I said, listen, I cannot marry y'all. I'm not a marriage officer, but I do know somebody who could perform weddings. So he made sure that every justice of the peace is aware that we are not marriage officers. We cannot perform any wedding. The most we might be able to do is introduce you to a girl. Like if you're looking for a girlfriend, we can introduce you to a girlfriend. We can introduce a girl to a boyfriend. But we can't make you husband and wife. We do not have the statutory authority to do so. So it was glorious. I was so happy for those people. And I'd like to see JPs on the street with the police, perhaps patrolling in the community, helping to enforce laws. And I think it would be powerful. So I want to thank the government for the many new justices of the peace that have been named and appointed. Man, you should have been in that court. I think that the next set of justices of the peace, it should be publicly broadcast, or the media should be allowed to come in with television cameras and videotape it so that the public could see the system winking, because the justices of the peace play a very fundamental role. The police all hour of the night is waking up JPs, waking them up, telling them about crimes that are taking place and that they need an emergency search warrant or an emergency warrant of arrest. And so you have to ask the officer one or two questions to make sure that the process is not being abused, or like an elderly JP once asked the policeman, say, now, y'all in, well, I can't call the name. I forgot the son is watching me, so let me be careful. All of my examples is be truthful, and I have to be careful and fair. But as one JP would have said to the police, now, I don't want y'all to do anything or do it, just arrest him, search his house, and if he ain't got nothing, for heaven's sake, let him go away. And then he searched it. Then he signed the warrant of arrest. So in our society, the justices of the peace play a major role. There are many jobs that can be created. I'll give you an example. Under the Minnis administration, Minnis, that's Dr. the Most Honorable Hubert Alexander Minnis, and his sidekick, the then Attorney General Carl Bettel, they both agreed that they were going to amend the law where citizens could serve certain judicial documents. And Carl Bettel and Dr. Minnis promised that. They never did it? Never did it. And if you were to check the F&M program, they had it in it. Now, how do I know? I'm an F&M. So I knew what the party was pushing. Carl never did it. All right? In fact, Carl was very unkind to F&M. Many F&Ms only got their JP appointment minutes before the PLP captured the country. That's how terrible it was under Carl Bettel. Terrible, terrible, terrible under him and Dr. Minnis. So the PLP is doing good by elevating justices of the peace, and I'd like to see some younger people. I think if we can have some 25-year-olds, some 30-year-olds, some 40-year-olds, so that they would be motivated to recognize how important it is that they should be law-abiding and set good example. And then there's little money you can make on the side, doing affidavits, doing deed pools, and doing other documents, And of course, at the University of the Bahamas, some JPs, they have complained to me that they were told that the University of the Bahamas is charging $700 a week to do a course. So I asked them, what course? So when they told me, I said, man, when y'all got time, come to Black Village and I'll teach that to y'all. I could teach that to them, all right? I could teach that to them. They couldn't believe me. I said, yeah, I could teach that to you. And they wanted to know how come. I said, listen, this affidavit is a precedent. So if you're doing John Roll on, just move Mary Smith and you put John Roll name. And if Mary was a female, you move the fee and you put and leave male. If John is now in the Eastern District, well, you move to the Southern District. All right? I had a case in the Supreme Court. They sent us a Jew. He was from Australia. And there was a lawyer who wanted $15,000 in damage. And that judge looked at him and said to him, you want $15,000 for that, and you got that precedent out of that book? Now, I'm not going to give you $15,000. You all two go outside and agree on it. And if you and him can't reach an agreement, I'm not giving you $15,000 for looking in the book and printing the precedent. See, these things are only precedents that they don't know. That as a layman, I pick up on that. So I told them, listen, you don't have to pay the university $700. Y'all come and see me. And I could name all the books. I could tell you what the book's name, and I could use big words. I may not know the meaning, but they won't be able to contradict the definition. So I had fun, and it was great. This is Freedom March. God save justices of the peace everywhere. I call upon them to act in accordance with the law, and I thank the Progressive Liberal Party for appointing scores of JP. This is powerful. God save the King. I'll be right back after the break. Hold on, everybody. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monka. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. And of course, it's birthday time, my spiritual advisor.
Yeah, I think we do. Are you ready, Miss Producer?
Well,
okay,
if
no, he's not ready yet.
it's not ready, then we can look at something else because I was looking at this judgment. It is to be noted that this judgment, which has come down from the Court of Appeal, is a wonderful justice. It is a wonderful judgment in our democracy. It's a clear sign that there is an independent judiciary, and so I just wanted to point out something here for the purpose of education. So it tells us Commonwealth of the Bahamas in the Court of Appeal, and this would have been action number 460 of 2024 between Adrian Paul Gibson, appellant 1, Joan Veronica Knowles, that's his campaign manager, appellant 2, Jerome Missick, appellant 3, Peaches Farquharson, on appellant 4, and Elwood Donaldson, appellant 5. He was like the general manager of the Water and Sewage Corporation, and director of public prosecution responded, and this was before the Honorable Mr. Justice Isaac and the Honorable Mr. Justice Evans and the Honorable Mr. Justice Smith. And these are all judges of our esteemed Court of Appeal. And these are the counsel, very powerful, well-groomed attorneys. And they were Mr. Damien Gomez Casey, along with Mr. Muriel Ducil Casey, Mr. Donald Saunders. You would recall that Donald Saunders served as the last F&M Deputy Speaker of the Honorable House of Assembly, Mr. Brian Bastian, Mr. Ryan Eve, and Mr. Ian Cargill. And there was counsel for the appellants, Miss Cordell Fraser, acting Director of Public Prosecution, with Mrs. Corinne McVean, Mrs. Kashina Thompson, and Mrs. Kristen Butler Beneby, counsel for respondents. So these were like a high-level teams of lawyers for the defense and the prosecution, and they dealt specifically with Article 20 and 28 and 104, subsection 1 of the Constitution. They also dealt with section 166 of the Criminal Procedure Code, section 178 of the Evidence Act, additional evidence, fundamental rights, locus standi, adequate means of redress, and this case involved an appeal, the court noted, by Adrian Paul Gibson and others against an order by Senior Justice Grant Thompson. And the order granted the Director of Public Prosecution leave to address additional evidence from witness Lachey Lenora Gibson during the trial. So this was Adrian's cousin. And so they don't want to hear from Adrian's cousin. And so Adrian instructed counsel to appeal. And counsel did appeal. And Adrian is so blessed that he had 2 nights. You know what it is to have 2 nights? King counsel and other supporting lawyers. But at the end of the day, the court overruled them and ordered that the trial continue. So, you know, justice flows like a mighty, mighty river. And do you have your birthdays ready?
Is the producer ready? Okay.
Is he?
We ready, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry? Do your ad first.
okay, justice flows like a mighty, mighty river. And so what is happening in our country? History is being made, and each of us are the witnesses to history. And every citizen must document it. And the way to document history is to get your smartphone, your cameras, video it, take pictures, keep a diary, write these things down, discuss it. All right? And it is powerful. So it's a great day. And I do have the judgment. And perhaps those who might want this judgment, we will have to share it with you. So I'm going to do an ad. Let's see if I can find the ad. Yeah. So folks, let me welcome Western Air. And now they flies to North Eleuthera and Nassau on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings, as well as Sunday evenings. Visit www.westernairbahamas.com to book today. Western Air is very powerful indeed. My spiritual advisor.
All right, we got a couple birthdays, a couple birthday shout-outs to do today. Who do we have first? All right, so we're going to do this young man first. All right, so here we go. We want to send a birthday shout-out. It's his 11th birthday, I understand. Happy 11th birthday to Deandra Malcolm. Wishing you all the best that life has to offer. And may all your dreams come true. Enjoy your birthday. And may God always bless you. They love you. It's coming from your grandmother, Verna Russell. So happy 11th birthday to Deandra Papa Malcolm. Okay, good. Let's see, who do we have next? We want to wish a happy birthday to Gertline Dean, celebrating her birthday. It's coming from her 3 daughters, Greta, Sheena, Sumitri, her adopted daughters, especially Helene, her 1 granddaughter, Simone, 5 grandsons, Bentley, Luke, Zaya, KJ, and Clay, also from her 3 sisters, Lillian, Annie, and Patricia, all her friends and family members, especially from the Annex Baptist Church, his 2 sons-in-law, Rodman, and the rest. So happy birthday to Gertline Dean. All right, hope she lives to enjoy many more. And then we want to send a happy 15th birthday shout out to Jasmine Strawn, coming from your father, Marco Strawn, celebrating on the, but this is tomorrow actually, also coming from a granddad, Clement Strawn, our brothers and sisters. Enjoy your birthday tomorrow. Happy pre-birthday to 15th birthday to Jasmine Strawn. All right. Okay, then we want to wish Renee Etienne, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we want to wish happy birthday to Renee Etienne, coming in from your husband, Anthony Etienne, your children, Ronaldo, Antonique, Rajane, and Antonia, your grandkids, Ajane, Dana J, Adron, and especially his best friend, Elise McIntosh, sisters and brothers, family and friends. Enjoy your birthday. Happy birthday goes out to Renee Etienne. All right. Who else do we have there, Mr. Medusa? Let's see. Where did I see that? Okay, so we want to send a special birthday shout out to this beautiful sister, Shanae Taylor, coming from her little brother, Keystone. Please let her know how much I love her. Happy birthday to Shanae Taylor. All right, coming from your brother. Enjoy your birthday. We hope you will live to enjoy many more. Who else do you have, Mr. Medusa? All right, this young man here. Let's see. All right, I don't know if it's the top. Happy, okay, so happy 40. Is this Livingston Curry? I don't know, or is it, yeah, or is it Hillard Walker? Wow. Anyway, happy birthday, young man. I don't know which one it is, but we have a, let's just say it's a happy 46th birthday to Livingston Curry, coming from Muddy Vaughn, dames, and sisters, Sharonda Walker, brother Terrell Knowles. Okay, happy birthday to you. Who else do we have? And we want to send a very special happy birthday shout out. Wow. Yeah, this is kind of confused. Anyhow, young man, you see a photo. Happy birthday shout out to you. Coming from your relatives and friend. All the best to you. We hope you lived it. Mind you, he may be Livingston Curry, and the other guy may be Hillard Walker. So, okay. So happy birthday, gentlemen. I'm so sorry we got your name confused. Please forgive us. And if you want to, you can always call and correct us. But I believe this gentleman here, he may be Livingston Curry, and the previous gentleman may have been Hillard Walker. All right, who else do we have, Ms. Medusa? Rodney?
You finished with the birthday? You said the birthdays? Huh?
Hold on. Sorry?
Today's Pinling's birthday.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Had he lived,
Combination.
don't forget Pinling was born in 1930,
Right.
22nd of March 1930. So had he lived, he would have been 94.
He died in
August coming.
2000. He died 24 years ago.
August coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we thought we'll tell that to you for historic purposes. And then, of course, my maternal grandfather, Paul Clark, he died the 22nd of March, 1948. This is powerful.
Okay, let's do this. Sorry, I forgot. We had to do this. Congratulations, is it? I see the one with the trophy. Where did I see that? Let's see. Right, so congratulations goes out to Bridgeway Nursery and Preschool nominee, Mrs. Jonelle Forbes, Adley, for winning the Preschool Teacher of the Year award. It's coming from the Forbes family, especially Uncle Raymond. Job well done. So congratulations to Ms. Jonelle Forbes, Adley, for winning the Preschool Teacher of the Year award. All right, congratulations. All the best to you. And that's it, Sandra.
Well, folks, you would recall that Dr. Daniel Dumfrey Johnson appeared on the show, and he brought great joy to the hearts of thousands of Bahamians around the Commonwealth of the Bahamas when he announced that if you make contact with him, he's going to ensure that your name is placed on the eye services list so that you can be treated. And as recent as early this morning, I had a citizen of the island of Grand Bahama who called. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you all the number for Dr. Daniel Johnson, and then I'm going to give you a specific number as well. So let me read it to you because I'm so excited, because I do know that there are thousands of Bahamians who have eye problems, thousands of Bahamians who have cataract, and it's hurting them. It needs to be moved, and at the public hospital, we have not been as efficient. And we do know that the government has announced a policy where it will identify citizens who have cataract, perhaps glaucoma, and other misfortune with the eye, and arrange to get them to Cuba. So I'm going to call off, and I hope that everyone will get out their pens. So this is powerful. Powerful indeed. So let's start by getting everybody ready. So do you have your pens? Everyone with cataracts, glaucoma, or other eye issues, Dr. Daniel Dumfrey Johnson is offering assistance to help without cost to benefit from government's treatment plan for these issues. Treatment will take place in Cuba. Dr. Johnson, who is the Caribbean representative under the Smart States Ambassador platform, can be contacted at, get ready now, 376-7651. 376-7651. And 322-5402. 322-5402. 427-5402 or 427-5402. 427-5402. Call him. Call him now. Call all the numbers. Call Dr. Daniel Johnson. And let me say to you, help and hope are on the way. And sight is a human right. No human being should go blind. And we all have a duty to do everything in our powers to save the sight and to make eyes as comfortable as possible. Well, having said that, I want to run to His Majesty's prison for a moment. You would recall some months ago, I informed you of a Negro mother who called me and told me that her daughter was in prison, and her daughter only had one complaint. And that complaint was the daughter was not being fed enough food, and that the daughter was very unhappy. I got the impression that prison would have been like more comfortable for the daughter if she was getting a full meal. Well, I complained about it, and Minister Wayne Monroe has assured me that she will be served extra. So I'm pleased that I had an opportunity to speak with the mother, and it appears that the daughter is being well fed. So I want to thank the prison for that. I've also had an opportunity to speak with a Negro male inmate who bitterly complained to me that he and other prisoners are literally starving. He complained about the time that breakfast is given to them. He complained that it was not sufficient food, and it was as if he read my mind. He said, yeah, I know we broke the law. Yeah, I know we were wrong. Yeah, I know we should be in prison, but they really don't have to starve us. So he claims that either the Quaker oat or the oatmeal was not sufficient. He claimed that the 2 slices of bread was not sufficient. He complained about the length of time the food is spaced between breakfast, perhaps lunch, and what else follows that. So I listened to him. And he then complained about the slop buckets in the cell, that there were 6 or more Negro men per cell, and that there were 6 slop bucket for the purpose of defecation. And he was kind of crude as he described the requirement of storing the human waste in a plastic bag and then placing it in your own bucket. So I listened to him and I said, well, but Monroe's getting ready to build y'all like a $91 million prison. Do you see any sign of construction? So he told me he's seen no sign of construction. So I really think Monroe should give more food. I must confess that I felt empathy when he said to me that he was literally starving, him and the other men, that the food was not sufficient. And he said to me that he was hungry. So I was happy that when he said that to me, there was a kind of distance. And that distance was such that I was not in a position to be tempted to find food for him. Because I don't think that I should ever pass something to a prisoner. I think if I had to give a prisoner something, I should go to the prison and give it to the authorities and let them determine if that is the proper thing. But I did feel empathy. And for some reason, as he spoke to me, I felt that he was not deceiving me. I just felt that way. I do know that I'm a man that is easy to be manipulated by people. People always manipulate me. So it is my hope and prayer that we in Monroe and the prison management would give more Quaker Oat or more cream of wheat or more breakfast. And I kind of agree that 2 slices of bread isn't sufficient. And I really felt it. I did. When he said how hungry he was. So, anyway, I just thought I'll mention it so that I can get it off my chest, if I can use it. So, my spiritual advisor, you are here. How are you doing? What is on your mind? Any politics? Mr. Ingram say he didn't buy no car.
He didn't?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that what I read?
So where's this $300,000 figure coming from?
I don't know, my spiritual advisor.
Yeah. So I guess that's the politics. I think it may have been in the newspaper somewhere, but of course, you know, I'm really preoccupied.
I'm happy that you are preoccupied.
But I can find that story quickly.
Okay.
So we could look at it and see exactly what Ingram
Did
says.
say?
Because one thing you could say about Hubert Alexander Ingram.
What is
He
this?
speaks truth to power.
What he does?
He speaks truth to power.
And do not forget,
Right after
there was
all.
only one F&M he trusts.
Former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram yesterday rejected a claim from the Office of the Prime Minister that his administration purchased a 2013 Mercedes-Benz for the use by the Prime Minister for $300,000 in 2012. Ingram also said he never used the car, as was claimed by the OPM. In defending his purchase of a $192,000 BMW for the use by Prime Minister Philip Davis, the Office of the Prime Minister said it was much less than the $300,000 spent by Ingram administration on Mercedes-Benz. The Office of the Prime Minister said that the car was used by 4 different Prime Ministers, including the current Prime Minister. This vehicle recently experienced mechanical issues that raised some concerns about safety and reliability. It was decided to discontinue its use, but Ingram said he had no memory of agreeing with the purchase of the car at that price.
He has no memory.
But this is easy to check, you know. All right?
You're
All you have to
suggesting?
do, just go into the archives in the Ministry of Finance and look up the purchase slip.
This is Freedom
Very
March.
simple.
In a press statement read by the spiritual advisor, Hubert Ingram say he don't remember, which means he may have. I don't know. This is Freedom March. I'm on Papa's side. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. Papa! Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. And what time is it, my spiritual advisor?
We're at the 5:30 mark. So
Very well. So it's about time to answer the phone, eh?
yeah.
Will you please do us the service?
Yeah. Mr. Producer, I think yesterday, before we open the lines, yesterday I think we had talked about a weather system that is headed our way this weekend. It does seem as if that is going to be a reality. Should I read this again, Sandra? We're going to have a bad weekend.
If this is going to be rough, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's a special weather alert again. We had read this yesterday, and it does seem as if this system is going to come our way. It is going to happen. So this weekend may not be a good weekend for outdoor activities. It's very unfortunate because I really would love to attend a funeral of a dear brother of mine. And of course, Donna Campbell's funeral is tomorrow. I would really like to support him and support Kendall Campbell and his family. But anyhow, in any event, there's a special weather alert issued noon yesterday. The Bahamas Department of Meteorology is saying that the combination of a potent upper level trough developing low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico and unseasonably warm and moist conditions near the surface poses the potential for squally and severe weather in the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands starting Friday, the 22nd of March, which is today, and all the way to Sunday, the 25th of March, 2024. 3-day rainfall accumulations of 4 to 6 inches with maximum amounts of up to 8 inches are likely in the northwest Bahamas.
Okay.
Lesser accumulations of 2 to 4 inches are likely in the central Bahamas and 1 to 2 inches in the southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Island. The highest risk for squally service weather in the northwest and central Bahamas is expected from Friday evening to Sunday morning. The high risk for squally severe weather in the southeast Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands is expected from Saturday evening to Sunday night. Residents are advised to refrain from traveling along roadways and remain indoors during the time periods for the respective areas mentioned above. Residents should seek safe shelter if severe weather occurs outside the time periods above. Some street flooding and flooding of other low-lying areas, especially in the northwest and central Bahamas, is expected. Heavy downpours, localized flooding, strong gusty winds, dangerous lightning, hail, and possible waterspout or tornadic activity may be experienced during severe thunderstorms. For northwest and central Bahamas, winds will be about 20 to 30 knots with gusts to gale force winds. For the southwest Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands, the winds will be around 20 to 25 knots with higher gusts. Small craft operators should remain in port in the northwest and central Bahamas. A small craft advisory will come into effect in the southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Island on Friday. The northwest Bahamas includes the islands of Grand Bahama, Bimini, the Berry Islands, Abaco, New Providence, Andros, Eleuthera, and northern Exumas. The central Bahamas include southern Exumas, Long Island, Cat Island, Rum Cay, and San Salvador. The southeast Bahamas includes the islands of Auckland, Crooked Island, Inagua, Miguana, Ragged Island, and Samana Cay. This, of course, issued by Arnold King, who is the Bahamas Department of Meteorology oversight. Okay, so there's that weather system that is expected to affect us on the weekend. Okay, so the lines open up, 323-7775.
Do you see the birthday, Mr. Producer? Okay.
You have a birthday?
Can we get that up quickly, please? Yeah.
All right, so what are you doing first?
Well, there's happy birthday to Miss Ebony King, yes. And birthday greetings is coming to her from her family and friends. And they say, Ebony, they love you. And that is powerful. Happy birthday, Ebony King. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775, 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, caller.
Yes, good afternoon, spiritual advisor.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mr. Marker.
Yes, ma'am.
I was trying to reach out earlier today. I want to send out a happy birthday to Joseph Trevor Forbes, Simony.
Yes.
He's 38 years old and coming from his mother, Anna Mae Forbes.
Wow. Happy birthday to your son. It's powerful.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live. All right, 323-7775.
I might as well take the cell phone call here.
All right.
Hello? Hello?
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Manka.
Yes?
Hey, how are you, sir?
Fine.
Awesome. Are you still on there? Sir, I needed to have a word with you, please, sir. There's a question.
Okay, I'm on TV. Get up at 6. Call me 6:30.
6:30. Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
The government is rule condolence to you, the passing of your father, eh?
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Mr. Manco,
Sir.
I sure appreciate you indeed some evening when you come on and especially when you talk about the justice of the peace and the prison.
Yes.
Why don't you try to enroll the spiritual advisor into that program?
Which one?
Justice of the peace. I mean, he's lack of the law on the Constitution a bit. I mean, as a boy been to C.C. Sweden, I think you're very well versed, sir. And I'm proud of you, sir. I know you from a little boy growing up in Black Village where the Tinkers them used to live.
Yes. Well, thank you. And the spiritual advisor and I, we will discuss it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a brilliant idea. We'll talk about it because I think he ought to have applied to become a justice of the peace.
He need to.
And a marriage officer.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the suggestion.
All right, thank you, sir. All right,
right.
take care. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775, 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March, caller.
Everything, how are you?
Good afternoon, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Great.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine, my dear.
Awesome. I would like to send birthday greetings out to my niece, Taja Taylor.
Yes.
Beautiful, nice, very intelligent young woman. You're very practical.
Taja Taylor.
Yes. And it's coming in from her aunt, Teresa,
Yes.
and cousin, Sonia, Nika, and beyond. We love you.
Okay, thank you.
That's wonderful.
Is that it?
God bless you for your kind heart.
All right, thank you. 323-7, no more calls? All right, we don't need calls.
Yeah.
We don't need calls, Sandra.
Okay, so what's on your mind?
Well, Sandra, you know the weather.
What, are you
gonna have
cold?
It isn't that. We do have some concerns for a lot of rain and flooding.
Okay. Your roof isn't leaking, is it?
No.
Okay.
But well, and beside the weather.
I don't think you'll be able to get into your yard because you look to me like you live in a low.
No, we'd be all right. We'd be all right. Yeah, we'd be all right in that
Okay.
area where I live. But I really, honestly, I didn't have any time today to check to see what was the latest in the news.
Okay.
I'm sure there are quite a bit
Well,
of
there
stuff.
are some exciting things in the news. We do know that the Court of Appeal has released its judgment on Adrian Gibson. You have a call?
We do?
Go ahead.
Well, welcome to Freedom March, caller.
Yes. Glad to meet you, Mr. Manco.
Sir.
I think that's the number to get my eye fixed.
Okay, are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
Get your pen.
Thanks for calling
yeah,
about these
man.
numbers.
Okay. Let's see. Where are we? Goodness me. My spiritual advisor.
A lot of people calling for this number. So,
Yeah, the people-
So give it out.
See if you see where it is there for me. The people need
What am I
it.
looking for?
You're looking for the number of
Do you
Dr.
have it on a card?
Well, I'm going to look for it right now. Dr. Daniel Johnson. I had the page a little while ago. And we have to make sure. Is this it here? See if that's it.
Okay, the number is 322
322
5402.
5402.
Give him
Yes.
the rest. Give him the rest.
And the next number is 427
Hold on.
Yes, the other number, the cell number is 427 5402. You have those two numbers?
5402.
Yeah.
What is the plate number?
Give me the
322 5402. 5402.
54.
02.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Rodney.
Sir,
Tell Rodney this is friend. You drive taxi with him.
okay.
840.
840, how are you? We gotta get them.
Still one eye.
Okay.
I can't feel one eye.
Well, we have to fix that eye. Dr. Daniel Johnson, you call those numbers and let me know if you are successful, okay?
All right, so he has his phone on.
Okay.
It's difficult.
Do well, comrade.
All right, do we have any more calls? 32377. Yes, welcome to Freedom March. Yeah, ask the people to turn their radios down, please. You're live, ma'am. Go ahead.
I'd like to wish my brother. I'd like to wish my brother Peter Giant Oleg happy birthday today.
Wow, it's Peter's birthday?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, well, I join you in wishing Peter Giant Boleg
Yes, it is.
a happy birthday.
Wow. How old is he now? I haven't heard from him for a long time.
Yeah.
I remember, it's Sportscaster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Thank you.
Do
You're
well, my
welcome.
dear.
All right, take care. Remember, before you call us, please call us. Could you do us a favor, please? We beg, please. Turn your radios down. When you call into the show, just turn your radios down, listen to the tone, and then listen to the cue when we give the cue for you to respond, okay? So welcome to Freedom March, caller. Hello, caller, you there? Turn your radios down, please. 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
You're live, caller.
Hey, how you doing, spiritual advisor?
I'm here. I'm trying to make it, sir.
Yeah. On behalf of me and my friend, Mr. Nelly Curry, who is also from Heart Exuma,
Okay.
I would like to extend our heartfelt condolences to you on the passing of your father.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
We
that.
hope that you get through this and you have a smooth transition. And may God bless you and keep you. And I must also tell you that you are a great Bible scholar. Every time I listen to you, I know you know the Bible and you know it, but continue to study the Word of God.
Absolutely.
And be a lighthouse on top of the hill so that everyone will always know and see that you are a real man of God.
I try my
Do
best.
well and God bless you.
Hey, thank you so much.
Amen. Amen, sir.
I needed that encouragement.
Amen, my brother.
It's their
God
time.
bless you.
Yes,
Yes.
Mr. Manka. You do well as well, sir.
I shall.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you
God
so
bless
much.
you for those kind words to my spiritual advisor.
Thanks so
Yes,
much.
Mr. Manka. Thank you, too.
All right.
You're welcome. Have a good weekend. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Manka. How you doing?
I'm fine, sir. And you?
Mr. Roll, I give you my sympathy.
I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much.
And one of the best leading get out in the Bahamas. It's going from us. That's your daddy. He can play a guitar.
Yeah, he could string those guitars, eh?
Yeah. But I think what you want to say something quick to y'all. South Beach, on all the clinics in the Bahamas, I give South Beach A. I give South Beach Clinic number A.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
The service is so good, Mr. Bunker. It's like it put me in mind of Bellevue Hospital in New York.
Really?
You go there,
Yes.
from the door, everybody greets you. Even the tenants who, they even come and push you in a wheelchair, or even the security asking you need a wheelchair, come up to the car.
Wow, that's great.
Service in South Beach will give you, Mr. Bunker.
That's great.
That clinic deserves number one.
Well, we must give them number one.
Yeah, I got to get them number one at
Yeah.
all. I've been to all. And the next thing again, just ask Mr. Dowell to get the elevator fixed in the big hospital.
Okay.
Some people can't even walk up there to go to the administration, the register.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
To see
yes.
doctors, 5 or people behind me, but 6 people yesterday can't even reach up to the step.
Well, we'll tell Dr. Dowell so those elevators can be fixed.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
lot of
So,
food.
Mr. Badger,
Yes.
y'all have a weekend and a nice weekend, okay?
Yes,
We thank you,
so much.
and the same
take
to
care.
you, eh?
Same to you.
Yeah, y'all take care, man.
You're well, my brother.
Okay.
All right.
Good. 323-7775. It's the number to call. We don't have any calls? All right, so we don't have any calls.
Really? What time is it?
So we're almost close to the
Yeah.
weekend.
This
so.
is powerful. So as we approach the weekend in Little Moon Key, there's been this fire in which one of the cruise lines, Holland America, somehow they caught fire and they have 2 crew members who perished, who died as a result of the fire. It's a very tragic story coming out of North Eleuthera. And then, of course, on the island of Eleuthera last night, 2 siblings, they got into a dispute in a vehicle as they were traveling from point A to point B. And by the time they arrived, something went wrong. And the allegation is that the 15-year-old brother stabbed his 25-year-old older brother in the upper part of his body. And life being what it is, his brother exited the vehicle, started to walk away, and unfortunately, he collapsed and he died. The 15-year-old is now in the police custody, and it's a very sad story to be charged with the murder of your brother. So we have to constantly talk to our young people. You have a phone call?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
we do. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Secretary Honorable Rodney Monker, JB.
God save King Charles III.
I remember that day when LBT put your name at the top of the list. Them bourgeois people, I must have a heart attack.
That is true.
That they will live on. The Guardian attacked you from first show to the last show.
Oh,
I
they
don't get that.
listen. They attacked me. They even let the country know I was a bastard. Yeah,
Because they shocked that your name was still clean.
Yeah.
So they thought, I guess you was a criminal or something.
yeah,
They were shocked that you could serve.
yeah,
You were decent.
yeah.
Little eccentric, but
Colorful.
and Bradley Rule have my sympathy. The bishop, I call him Mr. Honda. He has all the Hondas. Honda
Yeah.
Pilot, Honda Pilot truck,
Yeah.
Honda SUV. Johnny put a little Honda in his casket. It's Honda. But he was before he was born, like 20 times ago. He liked Hondas.
Yeah, yeah. He had every Honda you could think of. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
he loved Hondas. I mean.
I appreciate you. I
Okay.
appreciate you. Yes, sir.
You all love him, man. We love him.
Absolutely.
He left you all in good shape.
Quite a bit of memories.
Well,
Absolutely.
handle it what he left and carry the torch.
Absolutely.
And Senator,
Sir.
Papa wouldn't remember that because Papa ordered that big Mercedes
Yeah,
a couple months before the election.
yeah.
When it came, we got the bomb on him because he's going through his emperor mode.
Yeah,
He wanted
Papa.
to chariot. He didn't want no deputy. He didn't want this. We got tired of him. We just literally, Christy. When we tired of you, we don't need nobody telling us nothing. We know nobody drop the bomb on you.
Yeah.
We know that. Papa was acting like a dictator. And when 2 months after Christy went, there comes this chariot, Mercedes.
Listen.
That target cable station for months. Christy had barely used it.
Will you leave Papa alone today?
No, but I got the leader to know where to leave. Now, minister try to come back. I guess if he think that Brave could do so bad, we'll vote anybody in. But I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
It takes minutes. Minutes is a minute. Minute is a gynecologist. Stay in the hospital, or he's a former doctor. So he need to go get Kentucky right now. That's all.
Yeah.
And take his Nigerian.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Senator.
Yeah.
Thank you. Be
Have a
safe.
good weekend.
Do well, my brother.
323.
Okay, BLB.
Amen. That's powerful.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
Thank you. I would like to send a birthday wishes out to my daughters, Shane,
Yes.
Taylor, from her mom, Laverne, and her father from Pittsburgh, Taylor, from Bridgewater, loving you. And happy belated birthday to my husband, Sam Penny, as well.
This is
Okay.
powerful. Happy
All right.
birthday to both of your dear loved ones.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
take care.
Okay.
323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Hey, a blessing. Good afternoon, Senator. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon.
Right here, God save the King.
Yes, sir. And good afternoon, spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon, too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pastor McKinney here. This Monica boy, this your old friend, man. The Justice of the Peace.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, spiritual advisor. I just want to send out my heartfelt condolences on the passing of your father.
Hey, thank you so much. I
Of
appreciate
your
you.
officers and members of the New Riverside Church of God on Poinciana Drive.
Oh, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much.
Yes, sir, man. You're a good man, and I know the father brought you up good. And
Absolutely, absolutely. He really pushed me to have a lot of self-confidence in myself and to, really be a, more or less like a good person.
Yeah, I
to
see
say
that.
the least.
And I just want you was them. I see you was a hard at the crack. So you.
You know I take after, eh?
Yeah. You could bet what you can break. Yeah.
Yeah,
But, you know,
absolutely.
you all continue to do well, Mr. Manco.
Thank you.
I need to probably speak to you or call you.
You can call me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have your number.
Okay.
And, your neighbor Esther, I want to send out a greetings to her also.
Okay.
Because I believe she needs to take that trip to Cuba also because she has glaucoma.
Well, you better put her name on the list. You better take the number for Dr. Danny Johnson.
I have it, sir.
Good. And if he doesn't answer, I'm certain you know where his clinic is at the top of Fort Charlotte.
Most definitely.
This is
I
powerful.
will see him.
And I
Okay.
thank you so much for your encouraging
Yes,
words.
yeah, continue to be encouraged, spiritual advice.
Thank you so much.
There's no sorrows that heaven cannot bear.
God bless you, man. I
God
appreciate
bless you,
that.
sir.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Hello.
Good afternoon. You're live.
Hi, how are you doing?
We're fine. How you doing?
I'm great.
Great.
Mr. Monka, how are you?
Listen, I am fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm calling SA. I'm trying to find out. You said that you have to be baptized.
Yes, that is what Jesus says. Mark 16.
Okay, that's what Jesus said.
Yes,
you have to be baptized.
That's what Jesus says, yes.
So who could baptize you?
Anybody.
Anybody. So
Yeah.
I could go to the beach and baptize myself?
No. You have the Greek there is to get yourself baptized, which means somebody has to perform it over you.
So my husband could baptize?
Absolutely,
Okay.
because it's not him that has the saving power in it; it's Jesus. You're obeying the act of baptism.
Okay, so I don't have to go in a church for the pastor to baptize me. My
No,
husband
no.
or my sister could put me in the water and baptize me.
And once you understand the reason for you being baptized,
Yes.
all right?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Take care. All right.
Okay.
You have plans to be baptized?
Yes, I am.
All right. So listen. Which church do you go to?
I go to Montclair Baptist Church.
Montclair Baptist Church. Where's that?
Forkville.
All right. But you understand there's a teaching attached to baptism, right?
Yes, sir.
This is why it's so important to understand the teaching prior to baptism.
Yes.
And then there's a teaching after baptism when you look at Matthew 28,
Okay.
18 to 20. So understand what that teaching is before baptism, and then you must understand that teaching after baptism. That's very important. All right? Make sure you understand the reason for baptism, okay? All right. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Are you there, caller? Okay. Well, Sandra, we just got 2 minutes, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we're coming to the end of a week. This week appears to have come to an end. We're at Half Moon Cay. Holland American Cruise has had a fire. And we have been told that at least 2 of their crew members perish in the fire. So investigations are taking place. So that is a very sad and unfortunate situation. And then, of course, overnight at Iltv, a 15-year-old lad has been accused of the murder of his 25-year-old brother. So we have to constantly talk to our sons and daughters, our nephews and nieces, our friends, even ourselves. Because in a moment you can lose control, and when you become conscious, you are in the policeman's hand. So these are very unfortunate situations. So it calls for all of us being our brother's keeper, all of us talking to one another and reminding each other to control our emotions. Do well, my spiritual advisor.
This is Lord's will Monday.
Listen, folks, do well.
Have a good weekend.
If it is God's will, God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save King Charles III, the entire royal family. Lord, have mercy on the world. Let there be peace in our time. God save the King. Do well.